the comfort and the cost. That's like you, but that's my strength. Feeling guilty, hurt and lost beside you. It's not the same. I saw her standing by the door. Didn't know what she was waiting for. I looked at you and there you are, so close and so far away. If I could only touch your heart like I have in better days. The faces of a million years. Can't imagine where we might have met. I look into your eyes and then my heart fell to the ground.
How did you first get interested in music?
Ever since I can recall being about 5, 6 years old. And I was, just remember being glued to the radio whenever a song would come on.
One of the songs that stands out was Crazy Elephant, Gimme, Gimme Good Lovin', because Mom and Dad got us that 45, and it was like the only thing we could listen to.
And I would be very in tune with what the drums were doing. I was just always passionate about drumming. And it wasn't just drums. It was always a great melody line or some great harmonies or maybe a great guitar riff that just kind of stung inside of you, you know, and it just made you move. It sometimes gave you goosebumps.
I was 15, and something just struck me. I never really liked chorus or singing in church or anything like that. After I discovered that Heart Dreamboat Annie album, when I heard those two sisters, I want to do that.
I went to see a neighbor, and he had a drum set, and he played, and I thought this was the most amazing thing. This is awesome. Came home that night, got some coffee cans and some pencils. My mom said, "Well, what are you doing, David?" I said, "I just saw Harold play drums," just our neighbor.
I was home alone out here in the middle of nowhere, and making sure nobody would come and catch me trying to scream crazy on you and barracuda at the top of my lungs.
Mom and Dad actually bought me a snare drum. I played on it for a while and then graduated up to a drum set, set them up in the basement, played along with the radio. And bless Mom and Dad's heart, they sat at the kitchen table while the drums were going and I was hammering away and the coffee cups were vibrating off the kitchen table. When it was time to quit, they'd come down and say, "Okay, that's enough. That's enough for tonight." Okay. But whenever they weren't home and I was in the house, that's the first place I went.
We were blessed with the most amazing parents on earth. They always supported us, and they never complained.
Donette went to see this group one night. I was playing in my country bands. She goes, "Dave, these guys from Beamer, they're playing Ted Nugent, they're playing Cheap Trick." I said, "Really?" He said, "Who are these guys?" And so she went to see him and they said, "Why don't you come over to practice with us?" And Donette went over and the drummer was sick. Donette's very talented. So she could sit behind the drum kit and she could play a little bit and keep a beat. Well, the next time they had rehearsal, the drummer was still sick. They came over looking for Donette. Said, "Can you come back over and help us out with practice again?" She goes, "I'll do better than that. My brother's a drummer. I'll grab him." So I went over and I'm playing on this guy's drum kit. And we're playing all the songs that I was just hungry to play. And Donette started singing and it kind of fell together then.
I think the first one was Huey Lewis and the News. It was their Working for a Living tour, and they were just coming out with their sports album. So we were the first ones that got to hear Heart of Rock and Roll and I Want a New Drug. The funniest thing is I was in high school, and after we played, Huey Lewis came up and were giving us kudos, and they asked us to come and party with them. And I said, "I can't, I have school tomorrow." It's a school night. We opened for Steppenwolf, Ozark Mountain Daredevils, Tesla, and Foreigner. We were in high school, you know, we didn't know what we were facing, but it was fantastic.
Street Legal were a cover band, and it's what we were known for. We tried to go into the original scene, but you know, some bands' chemistries just, they work for that or they don't.
We played together about 10 years, and my brother and I really wanted to pursue originals, and we tried to do that in Street Legal. It just didn't quite work out.
The transition from Street Legal to Ivory Star was Labor Day weekend of 1990. Donette and I knew we wanted to try and do original music eventually and do some different things, and we bought the band Ivory Star.
They played Minneapolis and South Dakota, and we brought Ivory Star into the area.
What convinced you to do that?
We were hooked up with management out of Sioux Falls. We had a manager in Sioux City as well. And I think they had dollar signs in mind.
Yeah.
He was a booking agent. He was getting commission off of Street Legal, and now he'd be getting commission off of Ivory Star. Donette and I were thinking, we've got to buy a sound system, we got to buy a truck, we've got to buy a light show. And they said, no, don't worry about that, we've got it all taken care of. And we're like, what are you talking about? We didn't know what was going on. They took care of all that, made the purchase arrangements, and so we bought the band, bought the truck, sound system, light show, the name, and gained a bigger territory.
They talked us into it. Our management and agent conned us into it. We wanted to start our own band fresh,
Yeah.
which we probably should have.
What happened to the original members of Ivory Star? Did they come with you?
Yeah, one crew member, the guitar player and the bass player and the keyboard player.
It was tough. It takes a while to bond, to gel as a group,
Yeah.
and we're just not having that kind of luck. We were really struggling. I mean, it was week to week, and we almost had to hang it up.
We had fun right at first, and then we realized we ran into some issues. I mean, I almost got to the point where I just wanted to get a truck driving job or do something. I was getting kind of tired of beating my head against the wall, you know. But all I wanted to do was play in a great band.
We replaced members and eventually ended up with Storm and Troy and started doing originals.
Storm Road started playing bass with us. And then when we needed a guitar player, he said, well, I'll bring my guitar, and had no idea what a phenomenal player he was. He was a monster. And then Troy Johnson, he goes by T-Roy, he was respected by everybody in the Midwest for his playing ability. He said, you guys ever looking for a bass player? I'd love to join your band. I said, I like what you're doing. He joined the band, and it was like that chemistry was completed. I'll never forget his first night on stage, no rehearsal. I looked over at him and I'm thinking, whoa, I better step up my game.
We were very blessed
Yeah.
to have them in the band. It just added a whole new fire to us. And then they were open to the originals, and it was great.
We were a four-piece band that we threw it hard from stage. We were playing Madison, South Dakota, and we had a meeting with the individual that we had bought the band from. We told him, we're having a hard time keeping stuff operating, keeping stuff working. We expressed some concern about the age of the gear, and he kind of argued with us. He said, well, I never had any problem keeping it working. I don't know what you guys' problem is. And he felt that we were going to renege on our contract, but we were up to date with all of our payments and played Madison, South Dakota. Here he come in at the end of the gig, said, I'm here to take everything back, and he had a piece of paper that in his hand stating he was who he was and had it notarized, which was really nothing, and had the Madison Police Department come down to make sure everything went smoothly. Well, for one thing, we weren't in default of our contract. They told us we'd be arrested if we interfered. We put up a little bit of a fight, but we had to let him take everything that we'd been making payments on, and we almost had everything paid off.
We sued the city because the police helped him. Then they tried to say we couldn't play as Ivory Star anymore, but we still did.
I was a pretty angry person there for a while with all that happened to us, and it was done to us unjustly. And it seemed like we were the good guys just getting kicked all over the place. You know, we just wanted to make a living and play music and, you know, make people happy and pursue our dream.
When I was a kid, I always had music in my head, but it took me a while to realize that I was writing it. I didn't really start writing until 1996.
Donette knew she could write songs. And it was 9 months later, we had all of our music recorded, pressed, and released. 9 months later.
We had like 13 major labels contact us.
They were all interested in us. They saw the numbers we were drawing. They won't tell you when they're going to show up at our shows. They don't want you to know that they're there because they don't want to make you nervous. They don't want you to do something you normally wouldn't do. Knowing that they were out there was like, wow, could this really happen? You know, getting signed by a record label.
Vicious Circle we came out with in '98, and it became a regional best-selling album.
Were you getting a lot of airplay?
We were on Z92. They were very supportive of us. They had us on their live quite a few times.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And there was a publication called Album Network magazine. I don't know if you remember that. They had this coalition of independent music stores. We charted, I think we came up to 23 or 21, and then we were #1 at Homer's for I don't know how long weeks, and in the top 10 for months.
I remember Donette and I hung with, I think it was RCA. It was kind of exciting. We met for drinks downtown Omaha, just talked music.
The station or program manager at Z92 was also trying to get us connected, but the rest of it came from that Album Network magazine and SoundScan.
So they're looking at the sales and saying, you know, hey, You know,
Yeah.
we have to pay attention to this.
Yeah, who are you guys?
Here it comes again. Picks me up again. It's getting stronger. When it sets me down, I'll kiss the ground.
We got hired to come in and open for Nazareth. Don Dokken, Cheap Trick twice, Allman Brothers, our Marshall Tucker, Eddie Money, ZZ Top, Ted Nugent, George Thorogood, Mick Fleetwood, Joan Jett, Dog Star, that was Keanu Reeves' band, Alice Cooper, Jackson Brown, Hart, and the Romantics.
When you opened for Heart, was it exciting because they were kind of your inspiration?
Oh my gosh. I didn't get to meet Ann, but I got to meet Nancy. And I brought my Dreamboat Annie album. She said, go get it. So she signed it. She took it on the bus and had Ann sign it. It was incredible.
How am I supposed to rest? Would you like me to be terrorist? I know you get it on the side, but Venus ain't no place to hide. I wonder. Down running crazy to you. Down running crazy to you. Down running crazy to you. Down running crazy to you.
When did you know you weren't going to get signed by a major label?
I'd say probably maybe through 1999.
No takers.
Why?
Who knows why? Just maybe timing wasn't right, I guess.
We've been together right at 10 years. It just seemed like the chemistry was gone and we were just going through the routine. And our manager saw that and he could see it's not really clicking like it did before. So it was time to maybe bring things to an end.
We had gotten to that point in the band where we were ready to move on.
We just decided maybe it's time to, give this a rest and maybe all of us go on about our lives, and we were going to bring it to an end in 2000, and we did.
We didn't want to see it get sad. We quit while everything was on top,
Think it will be better. Time to shine. They are waiting for you. Time to shine. Time to shine. They are waiting for you. Time to shine.
I think my life just completely changed after Ivory Star. It just wasn't quite the same.
A lot of people have our CDs, and a lot of people are always asking for when's the next reunion, and the fan bases that we've had. Wow, without them it wouldn't have been anything. Of course, we feel so fortunate because there was a lot of bands that would give anything to be in the spot we were in. With what we were doing, putting out original material and getting these opportunities to play with these incredible artists. And
All the ups and downs and all those years and everything, and we still like each other.